All right, let's see how you did with the domain and range question. Need my calculator for the back because I don't have the key in front of me. So for the domain, right, remember, where do we start? Where do we end? Okay, this seems to be a word problem. So we go from 0 to 10 when we make contact here. So 0, 10, square bracket, or you could go 0, 10. Okay, so whichever one works for you there. For range, the graph exists as low as 0 and as high as 12. Okay, you're looking at the y values. So it'd be 0, 12, square brackets because they're included, or 0, and I'm going to use h for this one, 12, like that. So you get 1.5, I guess, each. You know what? We're going to change that. We're going to make it 1 each. That's normally what it is, okay? So 1 and 1. Yeah.
These X and Y still work.
X and Y? Yes, I'll allow it in this time, but if they ever give you an equation and they use letters other than X and Y, use those letters in the equation. Yeah. Oh, I would only take off 1 because we understand what happened. Okay, then here for this one, domain, you gotta scan, it goes as low as -4, right? -4. And you try to chase that graph, and if you go to the right, you'll never end up catching up to it because this indicates that this keeps on going, right? So for the domain, it goes from -4, always goes from left to right, left to right. So this would be -4 like this, and it'll be round bracket there. That's important. If you miss that round bracket, we take off half. So half is for whatever's inside, half is for the correct brackets. Or you would go x is greater than or equal to -4. That is your set notation in that case. For your range, okay, you get as high as 200. And if you think about it, you will never catch the lowest. It'll just never happen because this thing keeps on going, right? So remember, it's bottom, top, right? So the bottom would be -infinity all the way to 200. That's like the highest you get to. So it goes like that. Or y is less than or equal to 200 is the set notation for it. If you need to state it, you can choose which one. But I may, on a multiple choice format, present you with this. So you need to be comfortable reading it, okay? Keep going. So 1 mark for each. This one over here, we've got sales and profit. So we go from 0 to 200 for our domain. Like this. And for the range, we go, right, it gets to 0 and it goes as high as 25,000. So this will be 0, 25,000. I'm not going to do the set notation here because it's the same as before. If you use X and Y, we're okay today. So 1 and 1. Next, look at your lowest X value. It's 2, right? So we can actually say 2 is the lowest. You scan, and the highest that you ever get to is 14.5. And both of them have a solid dot, so both of them are included. For your y, you get as low as -10, and you get as high as 4. And it's always bottom up, right? So -10 to 4 is your range. Okay. So 1 and 1. So how many marks? We've got 2, 4, 6, 8. This page is worth 8 marks. As is. Yeah. Half off. Wrong brackets, half off. So basically you get half for the meat inside or the stuff inside, half for the brackets using the correct brackets. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, this one. Just letting you know, solving always means solve for x, right? Find the x-intercepts. That's, if you can add that to your study sheet, you should have under quadratics a solving. And we use the quadratic formula. That's one way to do it. Or we can use our calculator and use a graphing method, quote unquote. By that we mean like graphing calculator, okay? The best way, in my opinion, is this is how you would actually show your work. You type both of those into your calculator, okay? You go exactly the way you see it there. X minus 7, 8x plus 15. By the way, what kind of, what will this be? This will be a quadratic at some point, right? Because you go x times 8x, it's 8x squared. So this is going to be a parabola, okay? By the way, this is A. A is always in front of whatever quadratic you're doing. It's positive 1. So we know that that parabola is going to do, it's going to behave like that. This one is 2x times x will give you an x squared as well. But it will be negative 2x squared. So in this case, A is negative, so we know that this parabola is going to behave like that. Okay, so we just type it in, negative 2x, x minus 8. We hit graph. Mine just works. I don't know if yours works. I'm going to go zoom standard. If you did a standard zoom, this is what you would see. It's not the greatest, but I can see the blue one goes like this and the red one goes like that. So you either chase the curve. By that I mean I'm going to increase my y max a little bit. I'm going to go 50. Yeah, so now I got to the top of the red one. I'm going to decrease my y min. Right, I'm going to decrease that to negative 50, let's say. And you know what? That's all you need to see. Them crossing, right? That's all you need to see. So that's good enough. Anybody try zoom fit? I'm going to try that. Zoom 6. I'm going to go back to my standard zoom. If you ever mess up, go standard and then go from there. Zoom fit. I'm trying to review all of these features, right? Zoom fit actually does a pretty good job. You just need to see where they meet, right? So if you think about it, it goes like this, and it goes like this, and you just want these two intersections. If there are two, it could be that it's only one crossing. Sometimes it only crosses once. So second trace 5, enter, 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 find the first one. The important thing here is, this is the important thing, you don't copy the y value. You literally just go, that's your first solution. Second trace 5. I'm going to go a little bit closer to the other one. Enter, enter, enter. That's 7.170. Okay, 7.170. Make sure, right? Write 0, okay? Don't write the actual coordinates of the y values, okay? The alternative would be to clean this all up, bring everything over to one side, and then have like expression on the left and 0 on the right. Like you would have all your x's and terms here, and this would be 0, and do the same thing. It'd be a lot of time, a lot of potential for error as you're multiplying, as you're moving stuff around. So this is your best way to do it. I didn't mention that I'm using second trace intersect. Please use that. Show me work, right? Show me work as much as possible. All right.